So, two ways to stay locked in during the holidays. So, first, the holidays are, don't look at them as an obstacle, more of they are a part of life. They're going to be there every year. So, these two things we think will help you with those. So, the two things are, the first one is set your non negotiables, so holiday floors, and then building simple structure. Rachel, do you want to start with setting non negotiables?
Yeah. So, I mean, during the holidays, we're not chasing perfection
Yeah.
per se.
I think that's where a lot of people mess up is they think of it as like an on-off switch. It's kind of like that.
All
Have
or
you?
nothing.
Yeah, yeah. It's all or nothing. But the dimmer switch analogy, you know what I'm talking about? Like instead of it being a light switch where it's on or off, it's just a dimmer switch. Like you're maybe scaling back a little bit on certain things, whether that's nutrition or coming into the gym. But yeah, you can kind of expand on that a little bit more. But because I know
Yeah.
you were going there.
Yeah. Yeah. And I like the analogy of a dimmer switch because if you think about like that dimmer switch being how much time you have during the holidays, you have more obligations. You've got family gatherings, you're going to the Christmas tree lighting, like, I don't know,
On
all those.
top of like the daily too, like going to work, if you have
Yeah.
kids.
All that stuff. So it's like if that dimmer switch is your time, well, like your time is cut down because you're adding in more events. So from there, you have to choose what your non negotiables are going to be. So what things do you want to feel to feel for King Country? What things do you want to use to fill your time?
To fill FILL.
Not,
Yes.
not feel.
And so then you're going to pick a couple of things.
Mhm.
And so like you said, I think a lot of times you go into it and you're trying to be super strict with it when and then whenever you slip up, you just say like screw it, and then you go way off the rails versus having these floors, the minimums that you'll hit, and just picking like two or three things. You could pick
Yeah.
one, but picking two or three, so that could be like walking so many minutes a day. Maybe you cut down and say, I'm going to try to do I'm going to try to get to the gym and do 2 workouts a week during this hectic time.
Which is great for people who are traveling
Yeah.
to different
It's
places.
super important to emphasize as well to pick 2 to 3. Like just a couple. You don't want to go, put too much on yourself.
Something attainable.
Yeah. And you want to think long term, It's like if you were to put $2 every day into the bank, by the end of the holidays, which is like 2 months, right? You would have, it may not seem like a lot each day, but by the end of 2 months, you actually have
Pretty
a
good
good
amount.
chunk of money,
Yes.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
100%.
And like if I had to choose a non negotiable for myself, mine would be that when I eat my same identical breakfast every day, I feel great. So from a nutrition standpoint throughout the holidays, that's one of the things that I like to do, even if I'm going over to my parents for lunch to eat Thanksgiving dinner, whatever. Like on Thanksgiving, I want to get up and I want to eat my same
Mm-hmm.
breakfast of eggs and toast and blah, blah, blah that I do. And that's a priority for me.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point. So your non-negotiables don't always have to do with your workout
Mm-hmm.
and what you're going to achieve in the gym. Sometimes it's better if it's not. So the non-negotiable could be like X amount of hours of sleep,
Mm-hmm.
so much water, like protein, eating the same breakfast. That's a huge one for Rachel and I, especially if we travel or during the holidays when we're going to eat out or anything like that. Having the same breakfast for us just creates a good base for us, and then we're less likely to go off the rails, that afternoon. So that's a really
And
good
I'll
one.
elaborate on that a little bit because it's like it could be Thanksgiving and then the next day maybe you have like a Christmas party. Well, I'm going to do my normal daily activity or like as far as nutrition goes all day up until the Christmas party. I'm going to go to the Christmas party. So just keeping things consistent.
Routine.
Yeah.
And then number 2 is build simple structure. So you don't have to be super rigid with it. Actually, the more stiff and more strict you try to be with your structure, and by structural I mean like scheduling things in, the more strict you are with that, I feel like potentially higher risk of being unsuccessful. So just keeping it super simple. So to start could be like your workouts are scheduled as like non-cancelable meetings
Mm-hmm.
with yourself. Maybe it's just 2 of those, but those are non-cancelable meetings that you're putting in.
Yeah, and like before going into that week of the holidays, like choose ahead of time because you know what days things are going to start getting busy.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead and choose ahead of time. Like maybe you get them all in. Maybe you're going to do Monday and Tuesday because that's the beginning of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe you're somebody who's going to be off work on Friday. So a midday Friday workout would be great for you.
Yeah. And also sticking to that too.
yeah.
Like if I do schedule my workouts and, sometimes we'll be like, oh, can you, if I'm scheduling another appointment, they'll be like, oh, I have this time available, but it's the time during my workout. I'm like, actually, I have an appointment at that time.
Yes.
Like I don't elaborate. I don't tell them it's my workout, but it's a non-negotiable appointment with myself.
A super important appointment. You should approach that appointment as a meeting with your boss.
Mm-hmm.
You are your boss. And then also, if you're traveling, creating structure and schedule around that travel. Because I feel like personally, whenever we do travel is whenever I'm likely to go off the rails. And I think
Mhm.
that if I do have a schedule of, okay, we're going to be here, 7 days, or we're going to be here 7 days. Let me go ahead and schedule in 3 workouts. I'm going to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Mhm.
And 2 of those are just going to be 60-minute walks. The other one, there's a local gym. I'm going to jump into a class. Having that structure and that schedule, I feel like is really important.
And really just planning ahead,
Yeah.
Still be fluid. You want to think of it as like a fluid schedule.
Yes.
Yeah.
So those are the 2 things. So set your non-negotiables, your floors, what's the minimum that you can do, and then build simple structure. You don't have to go crazy with it. Just schedule in 2 to 3 things, and hopefully that will set you up for success.